Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today in this video guys, I'm going to do a in-depth review of this BETA FPV ExpressLRS 915 MHz long-range radio transmitter module. Apart from unboxing guys, in this video I'm going to tell you what are the functions and features which this module has to offer. Towards the end of the video guys, I will be also telling you how to upgrade the firmware on this module and how to bind it to the radio receiver module. So guys, ensure that you watch this video till the end so that you do not miss out on any important information or instructions that I have to share. Before we move further guys, if you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications for my new videos. Let's get started. So guys, before we see the functions and features which this module has to offer, let's quickly unbox this. As you can see, this module comes in this white box. On the top of the box, you have a branding from FPV. This is ExpressLRS module and it is 915 MHz version. So guys, as you can see, it comes in three versions: 2.4 GHz, 915 MHz, and if you are in Europe, it is 868 MHz. But this module that I have guys is 915 MHz. Onto the side guys, you have BETA FPV website and support email. If you want, you can go through it. So on the other side guys, you have nothing more than the barcode information and some labeling. So that is what you have on the top of the box guys. Now let's quickly open the box and see the contents inside. So guys, whenever you open the box, you see the module and the omnidirectional antenna itself. Let's keep that aside. In addition to that guys, it comes with this USB type C to USB type A cable so as to be able to connect it to your PC, update the firmware. So that is what it is used for. Let's keep that aside too. In this module guys, it also comes with this additional directional antenna as well, so that is also something really nice. So let's keep that aside as well. Apart from that guys, it comes with this welcome card that has a QR code onto the back so as to be able to download the user manual if you want. Let's keep that aside. In addition to that guys, it also comes with this BETA FPV Micro TX module user manual. It comes with all those functions and features which this has to offer guys and how to use this module guys. If you want, you can go through it guys, but in this video I'll be telling you in detail how to use this and how to configure this module guys, so I will keep this user manual aside. Apart from that guys, it has nothing more inside the box, so let's keep the box aside. So now guys, let's quickly unbox these components one by one and see what are the functions and features which this has to offer. So first one is your main module itself guys. As you can see, this comes in this transparent packaging with your BETA FPV logo onto the back. Let's quickly open the package and see the contents inside. So this is your omnidirectional antenna for 915 MHz guys. And this is your module itself. As you can see guys, this is a very small form factor module guys, which goes onto the backside external module bay that you have on your radio transmitter guys. So that is what it is. Here onto the side guys, you can see it has an XT30 port so as to be able to power this module externally independently as well. So it takes up to 2S battery. Ensure that guys, if you are powering this using an external battery, ensure that you use not more than 2S battery to power this up. Onto the side guys, you can see here it has a USB type C port. So guys, the cable that it came along with this is USB type C port, so which can go here onto this USB type C port so as to be able to configure this module and upgrade the firmware on this module using this external USB type C port, which is here onto the top side of the module guys. So that is what it is used for guys. In this video guys, I will be telling you how to upgrade the firmware, so ensure that guys you watch this video till the end. Here onto the bottom side guys, you can see it has an OLED screen so as to be able to configure this module right from this module itself. You don't need a radio transmitter to be connected to this radio receiver module to configure this, although you can configure this module on your radio receiver as well guys, but it has an independent control. Here you can see it has a 5-way switch, left, right, top, bottom, and short press on the top to select the item. So using this button guys and this OLED screen, you will be able to configure this module right from here. So all you need to do is power this up and then you can configure this module using this button and OLED screen as well. Guys, one thing super important that I would want to mention here guys, before you power this up, ensure that guys your antenna is connected onto the top, otherwise you will immediately damage the inside chip. So let's quickly connect this. So this is the omnidirectional antenna that came along with this. As you know guys, this is 915 megahertz module guys, so this is a long range transmitter that it came along with. So here you can see guys, I have already connected the antenna onto the top. Now guys, here you can see onto the back side you have a port So these junction ports are the ports which will get connected whenever you put this radio transmitter module inside the transmitter module bay that you have onto the back side of your radio transmitter. So that is what it is used for. Onto the top side guys, you can see it has a branding of BETA FPV ELRS 915 MHz. This is micro RF module. So this module is compatible with any radio transmitter which has an inbuilt aka JR or slim micro module bay. In addition to that guys, it is also compatible with all the radio receiver module which runs on OpenTX or HTX by default. In addition to that guys, if you have a radio transmitter which do not have an external radio transmitter bay or jar where you can put this module, in addition to all this port guys, you have a small port onto the back which has a 5-volt ground and a crossfire pin so as to be able to connect this module externally onto your radio transmitter guys. So that is what it is used for. So just to show you guys, as you know, this comes with this directional antenna as well. You can see it is 915 MHz antenna. So let's quickly unbox this. So with this external antenna guys, it comes with this external jumper connection guys. Here you can see this jumper connection will be going on to the bottom of this jar bay, and it has a black, red and yellow. So black being your ground, red being the power supply and yellow being the crossfire signal wire that you can connect using this jumper output that is coming out onto the other side of this JST connection guys, which you can connect it to your radio transmitter if you do not have a jar or a bay where you can connect this external radio transmitter module guys. As you know guys, this ExpressLRS module is based on an open architecture and open source code so as to be able to provide the longest range possible with the lowest latency and high speed of data transfer. So that is what it is used for guys. As you know guys, this is 915 MHz, so it has a higher penetration than 2.4 GHz module guys. So your drone will be able to go farther and lot higher distance than before guys. So this is also something really nice. Onto the top side guys, here you can see it has a ventilation where you have a cooling fan inbuilt inside this module guys. So whenever you are using this module on a higher power output guys, the fan will automatically kick in and keep your module cool. In addition to that guys, inside it has an RGB LED whose color you can control from the menu that you have here on this radio transmitter guys. So you can have a multicolor LED here on your module itself. So this module is capable of outputting the power of 100 milliwatt, 250 milliwatt and 500 milliwatt. 500 milliwatt being the highest possible for this 915 MHz. So as you know guys, this ELRS 915 MHz module communicate with your radio receiver via crossfire protocol. So whenever you are connecting this to your radio transmitter, ensure that guys you select an external radio transmitter with crossfire protocol for communication. So that is it what you have on the physical specification guys. So this is it guys. This is as per the physical specification and technical specification goes guys. Now let's quickly connect it to the radio transmitter and boot this up. So guys, now let's quickly connect this ELRS module onto your radio transmitter. This is Radiomaster TX16S guys. I have already done the in-depth review and unboxing of this radio transmitter guys. If you have not seen that video guys, I will put the link of the video above or in the description below for you guys to check it out. So to connect it guys, first thing you need to do is ensure that your radio transmitter is powered off. Now guys, you have to turn it back. Onto the back side guys, here you have the box. This is the jar or module bay where you can connect any external module that you have. So to connect it guys, all you need to do is push these two notches inside and then gently lift up like this to remove this cover. Here onto the back side guys, here you have some of the pins guys that is going to get aligned onto the pin holes that you have onto the back side of this radio transmitter. So ensure that guys it aligns properly. So all you need to do is put this module onto this bay and gently push it down. So these are the locking pin guys here onto the back, which will hold your transmitter module onto the back side of your radio transmitter. Now let's power this up and see how to configure this module. So let's quickly power this up by holding the power button.
Welcome to OpenTX.
So as you can see guys, as soon as you power your radio transmitter guys, the module also gets powered up. You can hear the fan noise guys. It is possibly because it is on an higher power transmitter mode guys. So your internal fan has already kicked in so as to ensure that your module is now cooled. So here you can see guys, there is a small button onto the top guys, so as to be able to navigate. All you need to do is press. So whenever you press and hold guys, you can see there is a menu that comes up so as to be able to configure this. So the first thing that you can see is the package rate. So all you need to do is to navigate throughout the menu. All you need to do is short press this button so as to be able to change to the next menu option. So first hold it to get to the menu option and then press for a short duration so as to be able to navigate through the menu. So here you can see guys, so first thing is your package refresh rate, which is 200 Hertz. So it can support 50 Hertz, 100 Hertz, 150 Hertz and 200 Hertz. And the next thing is your TLM ratio or telemetry ratio, 1:64. And then you have the power. As of now, it is set to 100 milliwatt. You can boost it up to 1000 milliwatt. So here you can see guys, it can support up to 1000 milliwatts. So let me reduce it down to 100 milliwatt guys. So here you can see guys, as of now it is outputting 10 milliwatt only. So as you can see guys, whenever I boosted up the power guys, the fan inside this module kicked in so as to keep your module cool. Next thing is your RGB lighting guys. So here you can see you have cyan. So let's change the color to blue, red and green and then pink and then yellow, purple, cyan. And then towards the end of the menu guys, you have bind and update so as to be able to update the firmware and bind it to the radio transmitter, which we'll be doing later in this video guys. So that is how the menu function works here on this external module. Now let's quickly see onto the radio transmitter how to configure this module so as to be able to communicate with this module and control your radio transmitter. So here I have my radio transmitter guys. All you have to do is to go into the mode menu guys. In the first section guys, here you have the model name and everything guys. Here you have to scroll to the bottom. You can see here guys, you have to keep the internal RF off and external RF at CRSF, which is your crossfire protocol. So as I told you before guys, this module communicates with your radio transmitter using crossfire protocol guys. So ensure that whenever you select an external RF, ensure that guys your external RF protocol is set to crossfire. So that is how you configure your external module onto your radio transmitter. So in addition to this configuration guys, you can also configure the power output, LED light and everything that you have as a menu option onto the external module directly from your radio control guys using the Lua script. So in a minute guys, I will also show you how to do that. So guys, before we can start configuring the external ExpressLRS module guys, first you need to do is to download the Lua script so as to be able to configure it right from this screen guys. To download the Lua script guys, first thing you need to do is you need to have a USB Type-C cable connected to this radio transmitter module guys onto the top side bay. Here you have a USB Type-C port guys, as I have told you before. Here you can see guys, you have a USB Type-C port so as to be able to connect and download the data. So first you need to connect this USB Type-C port, then go onto the PC to download the Lua script for configuring this external ExpressLRS module. So guys, once you have connected the USB Type-C cable onto the top side port of your radio transmitter guys, you have to come to one of these two pages guys so as to be able to download the Lua script, which is required for configuring using the menu option that is there on the front screen of your radio transmitter guys. I will put the link of these two web pages guys in the description below for you guys to check it out. So the first option guys is to download the Lua script version 2 directly from your ExpressLRS web page guys. So the next thing that guys you need to do is to go to a place where it says download ELRS version 2 Lua script. All you need to do is right click on this and then you have to save link as, save this onto your desktop, and like this your ELRS v2 Lua script is downloaded onto your desktop. Next thing that you can do here is using this web page of GitHub. You have the Lua script code here right here onto the top. All you need to do is copy. Here you have an option to copy the contents, and then what you need to do is open the notepad, paste the script, and then save as, go on to the desktop, select all files and then save it as ELRS.Lua. So that is how you save it. So here you can see guys, you have both the files here on your desktop. Now guys, since you have connected your radio transmitter onto your PC guys, here you have the USB drive. All you need to do is go on to the scripts, then go on to tools, and then all you need to do, drag these two files here onto your SD card like this. Now let's go back to the radio transmitter guys. So now that guys, since we have already downloaded the Lua script onto your radio transmitter guys, now let's quickly go and execute that. To do that guys, you have to hit this sys key on your radio transmitter guys. Once you are in the sys key guys, under the tools menu, you have to scroll all the way down until you find this ExpressLRS or ELRS. ExpressLRS is the one that you downloaded for version 2 and ELRS is the file that you downloaded from the GitHub. So let's execute one by one guys. So first thing first, ExpressLRS. So here you can see guys, the one that you downloaded from the website no longer works. Now hit return and then execute the second one guys. So as you can see guys, this Lua script works. So guys, here you have the same options which were available right onto your external module guys. So here you have the package rate, telemetry ratio, power and radio frequency. The radio frequency that you cannot change, it is 915 fixed. So now guys, let's quickly update the firmware onto your external module guys via USB type C port, which is available onto the backside of your radio transmitter guys. So guys, now let's quickly connect the USB type C cable that came along with this module right here onto the back side guys, so as to be able to update the firmware. Once the USB type C cable is connected guys, the other side of the USB type C cable, let's connect it onto the PC and proceed from there. So now guys, let's quickly download the ExpressLRS configurator guys. So to download the configurator guys, here you have the link. I will put the link in the description as always guys, so that you guys can review later as well. So here you have the configurator guys. The latest version as of now for the configurator available is 1.4.2, and also guys, the firmware that we are going to load on my ExpressLRS is firmware version 2.5.1. This is the latest version available as of now guys. So first let's download the configurator. As you can see guys, depending upon the operating system that you have, you can download the respective configurator. Since I have the Windows version as of now here on my PC guys, let's download the Windows version. Here is the setup for the configurator, and here is the block map and the latest YML. So that is all three files that I need to download to start with the configuration. Since it is downloaded now guys, let's quickly click it and install the configurator. For anyone, click on next. It will ask you to install on a given path. I will keep it default and install. So as you can see guys, my ExpressLRS configurator is now installed completely. Hit the finish button and run the configurator. You need to allow to connect it to the network. So here you can see guys, the official releases are now available. Now let's quickly connect the USB pin here onto the PC. To update it guys, first you need to find out a release. So here is the release as of now guys. Like I told you guys before, as you can see on the website as well, the latest version for ExpressLRS firmware as of now is 2.5.1. It is the same which is available here on the drop down as well. So let's select the latest version available. Let's select the target as well. So here let's find out the target. Mine is BETA FPV 900 MHz, so that is my target to install. The device that I have is the BETA FPV 900 TX micro module. So let's download the Lua script for this. So flashing method will be Wi-Fi or Uart. So for now guys, I will download the Lua script and keep it on my desktop. So let's save this Lua script guys. This is the same Lua script guys that we have already downloaded before, so that's okay. So the regulatory domain is basically the frequency which is supported as of now in your area guys. So I will select the 915 FCC. You can have the binding phrase here. I can type a binding phrase, let's say BETA FPV this is going to be my binding phrase. So once you have the binding phrase, you will be only able to bind onto your radio receiver and not interfere with others. So this is something also important, guys. You can keep the Uart inverted, guys. As you can see, the radios that output inverted crossfires such as Frsky QS, TBS Tango, Radiomaster TX16S. So as you know, guys, my radio transmitter is Radiomaster TX16S, so I am going to use this. So the telemetry data is optional, guys, as I have told during the review of my ELRS module, guys, but for any quadcopter flying, since the telemetry is important, guys, so I will check this. So this is what it has. So it has a default value. Let's check. So here you can see, guys, whenever you have the value of 240U, that means is basically every 240 milliseconds your transmitter will send the telemetry data onto your radio receiver. So that is what it means. So I'll keep it to 240. If you want to have 100 milliseconds, you can keep it to 100, but I think 240 is an optimized value. Rest all, guys, I'm going to keep it exactly same. So here you have COM7 Silicon Labs. So my port that is being connected as of now is COM7. So I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to click on build and flash. So let's hit on build and flash. So it will start with the building process of the firmware specifically for my Radiomaster. It will install all the softwares which are required to build the firmware onto your system, guys. So if you do not have it, guys, you can see here the building platform is being downloaded as of now automatically whenever the build process starts. So this is also something really nice, guys, so you don't have to worry about anything else to install. Everything will be taken care by this configurator itself. As you can see, guys, now it is writing onto the firmware, guys. It was successfully able to build the firmware and now it is loading onto my ExpressLRS external radio transmitter module. So here you can see, guys, it has already successfully loaded my ExpressLRS with the latest firmware available as of this date, which is 2.5.1. It is successfully completed. So as you can see, guys, now the firmware is updated here onto the ExpressLRS radio transmitter module. You can see the firmware version is 2.5.1. here you have the layout also changed, guys. So here on the top you can see the refresh rate is also visible, guys. The power at which it is operating is 100 milliwatt as of now, and the telemetry rate is 1:128. that is what is now visible as a high level dashboard on your OLED screen of this ExpressLRS radio transmitter, guys. And now, guys, there is a different way of navigation also introduced, guys. So whenever you hold this button, you can see the menu has changed. So tilting up changes the menu, guys. It comes with more user-friendly way of navigation, guys. Here you can see, here you have bind mode, here you have telemetry mode, here you have power mode. To select any mode, guys, you have to just double click, and then to change it you have to press it down or up. And once you are done, you can click OK, and then when you push it forward, guys, it came back onto the home menu. So that is what it is there on the menu navigation, guys. Now you do not have an LED control or anything right here on this menu, guys. So now, guys, let us go back, and since we have already loaded the new Lua script, now let's quickly check the Lua script the way it works, guys. Now scroll all the way down. As you can see, guys, like before, we have two Lua scripts, ExpressLRS and ELRS. Now let's first check the ELRS because it was working before. So here you can see, guys, after updating of the firmware, guys, the ELRS version which was working before on the older firmware no longer works. It displays the message that you have to use version 2. So let's go back and then run the ExpressLRS, which is your version 2 file which we loaded before. Now you can see, guys, the Lua script which was not running before because of the firmware incompatibility is now able to run properly here. So here you can see, guys, the switch mode is now, you can switch between wide and hybrid, guys. So wide is possibly used for the fixed wing, guys. If you have a quadcopter, guys, like me, you will use hybrid. You have model match on and off. and then you have an option for TX power. Here you can see guys, you have the max power and the fan threshold guys. So fan threshold is the power at which your fan kicks in, and then you have a newer option called dynamic power guys. So this will help you to reduce the power consumption of your radio transmitter guys to dynamic. So depending upon the distance at which you are flying your quadcopter, the power is being boosted as and when required, so which is also something really nice guys. So let's hit on back, and then you have VTX administration, Wi-Fi connectivity, and Bluetooth joystick guys. So Bluetooth joystick is the same way to connect your radio transmitter via Bluetooth to your PC for playing your simulator games onto your PCs, which is also something really nice guys. And the option to bind as before is now available here on the Lua Script as well. So this is how guys you update your firmware on this ExpressLRS module guys. Now let's quickly bind it to the quadcopter and see how does it work. So guys, before we can start with the binding process, we also have to flash the same firmware onto my receiver module guys as well, using the same binding phase. The same binding phase will help your transmitter and receiver to bind automatically without need to put your receiver into binding mode and request for binding from your transmitter, which is why guys you need to flash the firmware on your receiver module as well to ensure that your binding happens automatically. So guys, as you know, I have already soldered my receiver module onto my flight controllers, so I'll be using a beta flight pass-through method so as to be able to flash the firmware via my flight controller onto my receiver module guys. So all I need to do is connect a USB onto my flight controller, to which I have already soldered the receiver module, and then connect it to PC. Then you have to come back to this configurator guys, where you can see the latest firmware as of now available is 2.5.1, and then at the bottom my device category is still going to be 900 megahertz because my receiver is as well 900 megahertz. And then instead of transmitter module TX, I have to select RX module. This is going to be my receiver, and since I told you guys I will be using the beta flight pass-through method so that I can flash the firmware via my flight controller onto my receiver module directly. So this is what I'm going to do, and then you have to select the standard mode, the same frequency that you selected on your transmitter module, the same thing. Then you have the same binding phrase that you want to use it, and then you have to take this receiver Uart baud rate to 420,000. That is what you have to do. And then Wi-Fi renewal, I do not need my Wi-Fi SSD or Wi-Fi password, and lock on the first connection. So this will ensure that guys, whenever you first boot it up, you will have an automatic binding from your transmitter to receiver. So that is what I'm going to do guys. So this is all. Since I've already connected my flight controller onto my PC guys, this is on my COM port 5, so I will do a build and flash. As you can see guys, the flashing of my firmware is already done here. As you can see guys, on my radio receiver module, the light is blinking really slow guys. So I think it is now ready to bind it to my radio receiver guys. Now let's do that quickly. Now guys, let's quickly turn on the radio receiver and see if my slowly flashing light on my radio receiver turns on solid when I turn the radio transmitter guys. Let's power this on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
As you can see guys, now my radio receiver flashing light has turned on to solid. That indicates that I was successfully able to bind my radio transmitter onto my radio receiver just by turning on. This happened because guys, I have already put the binding phase onto my radio receiver, and the same binding phase has been flashed onto my radio transmitter as well guys. Since they both have the same binding phase guys, they were able to bind right away without even need to put them into the binding mode guys. So guys, now let's quickly see on my radio receiver if we are able to get some of the telemetry and sensor data that is being transmitted by my drone via my radio receiver guys onto my radio transmitter or radio control. Guys, to check now if your radio receiver module is properly connected to your radio transmitter module guys, let's quickly check in your radio transmitter guys if you are getting the telemetry. To check that guys, you have to hit this mode button onto the top, and then you have to go all the way back to the telemetry option here guys. This menu will contain all the sensor guys which are available on your drone guys. So here you can see guys, I am getting all the list of the sensors and its corresponding values on my radio receiver guys without any problem. This shows that I am able to bind my radio receiver properly onto my radio transmitter guys. So this is it guys, this is how you bind your radio transmitter to your radio receiver. So guys, this concludes this tutorial guys of an high level overview of this BETA FPV ExpressLRS module and your firmware update both on your radio transmitter and your radio receiver module, and how to bind it onto your radio receiver module guys. So I hope you guys like this video. If you guys like this video, please do not forget to hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I will try and answer as soon as possible. If you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications from my new videos. Thank you guys, thanks for watching, and clear skies.